Hello lovelies, welcome back to An Abundance of Sophie. So I've been back in Australia for almost 3 months now, and I've been meaning to make this video for most of the last 6. There's 2 reasons I haven't. One, I've been very time poor lately, and 2, when I have had some blessed downtime, I've been feeling really uninspired to create. And for that, I'm sorry, but I'm back now, so yay? Okay, so that being said, the last travel vlog I uploaded was from Athens and then just generally being back in London. And since then, I've travelled to 10 different countries and 6 regional cities in the UK, which has left me with a lot of footage. And while I've edited none of that, it's time I started. So back at the end of October last year for reading week, myself, my flatmate Zoe and our friend Rachel decided that we wanted to go see Scotland. And because we were doing it on a budget, we decided to take the overnight coach up to Edinburgh. Now, I've taken this coach before. You can find my last Scotland vlog in the card up here, or is it up here? I don't know, I'm really bad at this. But anyway, I've taken the coach before and it was a nightmare, and I said I'd never do it again, but I did it again and it was still really bad. So, but it was cheap and it got us to Edinburgh overnight. We arrived early in the morning, and after grabbing some breakfast, we decided to go out and wander around Edinburgh. Now, Rachel and I have both been to Edinburgh before, but Zoe never has. So we decided just to show her like kind of the big highlight, which of course is Edinburgh Castle. So we walked up the hill, took in the sights, and then walked down through the gardens before heading off to pick up our hire car. Now, lucky for the other 2 girls, I am the old maid of the group, and now that I'm 25 and also still retain my UK driver's license, it was quite cheap for us to hire a car, and I'm so glad we did because we had an amazing time. But anyway, so we picked up the car and hit the road. We were heading for Inverness for the first night, and along the way we stopped off at this place called Loch Lagan. I hope that's pronounced correctly. But we stopped there for the sole purpose of a BBC show called Monica the Glen was filmed there back in the early 2000s, and myself and my mum were obsessed with this show. Absolutely loved it. I rewatch it every couple of years, and when we started talking about hiring a car, I was like, this is too good of an opportunity to miss. So I convinced the girls to let me take an hour detour out of our way. Took some photos of one of the filming locations across the loch, got back in the car and continued heading north to Inverness. We arrived a little before dinner time, so we checked into our hostel and then walked into the town centre, saw the castle up on the hill, grabbed some dinner, called it a night. So that was day 1 of our trip. Not too exciting, mostly a car day, but day 2 was a big one for us. We started driving out to the Culloden Moors, which is a historical battlefield. Zoe was really interested in seeing this. I didn't really know much about it. Rachel knew a little bit about it, and we went through the exhibition to learn further about it, and then just walked the battlefield, and it was really somber and really moving start to the day. But after that, we got back in the car and we drove down to Loch Ness. Now, I've been to Loch Ness, so has Rachel. That's going to be a theme of this trip. And we decided that Castle Urquhart was the best place to go. It's where both of us went on our kind of organised tours when we first did Loch Ness. So we decided that that was a good place to take Zoe for her to see the loch as well. We stopped along the way, kind of just on the side of the road, and took some photos before we got to the castle, and then we took a lot of photos amongst the ruins before hitting the road again. I really wanted to go to the Loch Ness exhibition, but unfortunately they were having technical difficulties and they ended up being closed when we were there. So unfortunately missed out on that, but I guess that just means that I'm going to have to visit Scotland again in the future. But anyway, once again, we climbed back in the car and headed off. This was going to be a long stretch of driving for us. We were heading north to the Isle of Skye. So I wanted to kind of hit the road early around lunchtime so that we were there before dark, because I didn't know what the road surfaces would be like once we got up north. But we got a little distracted and delayed along the way because we were driving along, and like just the whole of Scotland was so gorgeous during this drive. And with autumn, the leaves were changing, and it was so stunning. And there was this point we were driving along, and all the leaves had turned orange, and it was beautiful. And I was like driving along, and I'm like, Zoe, you need to get the camera, you need to take photos. And she grabbed my phone to take a video for this vlog. Unfortunately, my phone was also our GPS for the trip. So while we were busy trying to get videos and photos of the beautiful scenery, I missed a turn. So I decided to find somewhere safe to turn around, and then I'll let past Sophie fill you in on what happened next.
Okay, so we're driving along. I miss a turn because we're too busy trying to take photos of the scenery, and then all of a sudden we see this like really cute little bridge. So we're like, we'll just fucking stop, we'll take some photos, it'll be great. And then we saw this! Like this place, I cannot like even stress, this place is stunning, and we found it by accident because we missed a turn. Scotland, I love the fuck out of you.
Taking some photos, we got back in the car again, finally found the road we were supposed to turn onto and headed north. The weather really turned on us, and it started to get very wet and overcast, but we made it safely with a couple of stops along the way to take some photos of some cute stuff. Then we crossed this stunning bridge and arrived in the Isle of Skye and checked into our hostel, went and grabbed some dinner. And I don't have any footage of this, but like one of the highlights, even 6 months later, looking back on this trip, a memory that always makes me smile is when we were coming back from having grabbed dinner. It was dark, and you know, we were kind of just shuffling songs, and Zoe pulled up Cascada's What Hurts the Most, and we ended up just like cranking it, like absolutely blasting the song and just singing at the top of our lungs. And I just ended up kind of like doing laps around this car park so that we could finish the song before we got back to our hostel. And it was this amazing, sweet memory that I know every time I hear that song now, that's what I'm gonna think of, and it was such a highlight. But there's a lot more to this trip, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna leave it there, and I will continue the trip in the next video. And for now, I'll say thank you for watching, and as always, please like, comment, and share this video. To see the rest of this trip, subscribe to my channel, and for a greater abundance of Sophie, you can find me on my social medias. Bye guys!